The purpose of this video is not to debate the original pronunciation of God's divine name, Yahweh, but to explain the intended pronunciation as indicated by the vowel markings added by the Masoretes. If we attempt to pronounce God's divine name as it is written with the vowels that are included, we get the name Yehovah. Through dramatic influences, this eventually became the name Jehovah. However, there are some grammatical inconsistencies in these vowels that alert us to the fact that we should not be using them to pronounce the name in this way. In order to understand why we have the vowels we do have on God's divine name Yahweh, we will first need to look at another Hebrew word. That word is Adonai, the Hebrew word for Lord. Originally, Hebrew was written without vowels, and the vowels were supplied by the speaker when the text was read. Later, the Masoretes developed a system of vowels that allowed them to place the vowels below, above, and in the middle of the Hebrew letters without making any adjustments to the Hebrew text. When we add the vowels to the word Adonai, it looks like this. Because the Jews considered God's divine name to be sacred, they would not pronounce it, but would instead replace it with the title Adonai when the text was read. It is recorded in the Mishnah that if one were to pronounce God's name as it is written, they would lose their inheritance in the kingdom to come. The Masoretes, in order to remind people to pronounce God's name as Adonai, took the vowels from Adonai and placed them on the letters of God's name, essentially transcribing the vowels like this. However, once the vowels were moved, some adjustments were required in order to conform the vowels to standard Hebrew practices. First, the expanded Shavah on the Aleph of Adonai is reduced to the standard Shavah on the Yod of Yahweh. And because a letter should not have two vowel markings, one of the vowel markings is usually, but not always, removed. One special situation needs to be considered. When the actual word Adonai precedes the divine name, the vowels from Adonai are not used in order to avoid the repetition of Adonai, Adonai, and instead the vowels from Elohim are used. In this case, the pronunciation is Adonai Elohim. Let's take a look at how the vowels are moved from Elohim to the divine name in this special case. As we did with Adonai, we begin by copying the vowels from Elohim to the divine name. And like Adonai, the extra vowel marking is usually, but not always, removed. However, when the vowels come from Elohim, we will find the Masoretes sometimes did not reduce the Shavah, leaving two unusual features. First, the expanded Shavah on the Yod is grammatically incorrect, leaving a clear indication that the vowel was originally from Elohim. Second, words ending in a hey do not have the E sound in Hebrew, with this exception, again an indication that the vowel was originally from Elohim. Note that in some instances the expanded Shavah is reduced. Let's listen to the text being read with the divine name pronounced as it was intended.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Vayomer Yehoshua,
Aha, Adonai Elohim,